you know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Test. All right, you should be hearing me, and now you should be seeing me. Sweet. All right. Uh-oh. Okay. I hope it's not lagging. Uh, let's see. There we go. Okay. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, Shelly. You've been such a great addition. Lindsay, Carla, Jackie. Who have I missed? Dewey, if you're still here. Claire, of course. Um, yeah, so anyway, I'll give you the quick rundown on me. I shared with you last time that my mom has been moved into hospice care. So that is ongoing. Is it lagging? I can't tell if my computer's being weird right now. Um, like more than usual. Like if it looks worse than usual. Anyway, but my mom is has been moved to hospice, so it's kind of if you've been through that, you know it's I haven't, but it's sort of seems to be like kind of just waiting and appreciating all at the same time, and you know um, the visits are interesting for me because they're yeah, they're just interesting to me. She she doesn't she's not so out of it, but she doesn't seem to know what's going on. But she's really appreciating all the attention I think that she's getting from all of us. So, but it's not an unexpected thing, and so and I'm older, so like this sort of thing happens. So it's got feelings, but it's not as tragic as maybe it would be in another situation. Um, but on the health tip with COVID, uh, it's so weird. I know that machismo in me just doesn't like to admit that COVID kicked my ass the way that it has and did, but I am finally feeling semi-normal. Like 3 weeks or more after, and as I said in the last class, I have such a new, like, not that I think I was insensitive before, but I have even greater sympathy now for people that are dealing with illnesses of any kind, specifically COVID, but any kind. That it's a trip to just feel like your body is taken over by this thing, and a thing that you've not experienced before. But, I know for some people, COVID is like a cold or the flu or whatever. It was not that way for me. It was a very, different feeling to be on it and the lingering effects of it, and not really knowing how to feel better. It's just been wild. So. I don't want to delay too much more. I want to just get straight into class, and I just really want to make sure I got everything. Yeah. Okay, cool. Um, so tonight's class, the theme has been release. I despite appearances, I have a pretty big inner hippie inside of me that I choose to let speak sometimes and not. And today I woke up just with this real sort of uh, longing and like just missing things, like missing them in the way that like just that sort of appreciation. I posted on Facebook about the difference between missing and grieving, and people very like smartly pointed me that like, it's an indifference and like I'm not grieving so much, but I'm just missing certain things. Like I'm missing like how good things were pre-pandemic that I didn't realize how good they were. And I'm in that place of like wondering if they're just gone, like gone to me or gone to the world, or if like so it either way I just miss it, and so it's bringing like gratitude into my life. Like for instance, I was missing going to my local ecstatic dance, but that dance doesn't exist anymore. So it's like, I mean, it kind of does in a different location every once a month, but what it was that I miss is gone. And so I don't know if you guys can relate to me, but the reason I bring up my inner hippie is like it's got me wondering, like, okay, well, why this morning? Like, why am I feeling this? And I'm kind of going back to my old religion days, but like, sort of like, what is the reason that I woke up missing? Like, what? Why is this lesson being put in front of me right now? What am I supposed to learn from it? And so for me today, my first guess is that I kind of need to let go. Like, let go in the sense of like a bird that you're holding. Like, let go, not so that it's gone, but so that you're not controlling it anymore. Does that make sense? It's like, like the Maidan, they have a bunch of stories about letting their birds go so that they trust that they'll fly next to them. And that's kind of the sort of letting go that I'm talking about for me personally today, and then maybe for you tonight. Is this idea that like you're not letting it go. Like we are so used to saying sort of like letting go is equal to throwing away, and that's not really what it is. It's just sort of letting go, like letting the sort of whims of the wind move this thing. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right, so I've got some cool songs on SoundCloud that I want to check out tonight with you guys. But we're going to, kind of like usual with Sway, we're going to start with something from my playlist that's probably kind of chill. All right, let's move. Sweet. I'm glad you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. So we're gonna move through a bunch of different hoop techniques tonight, but it'll be more themey than techy. Okay. Oh. Audible breath in. If you haven't done this before, Sway is our free movement time. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Open, open, open. Audible breath in. open, open, open. So the way that I like to teach class, especially on the live stream, is just to share my story with the intent that it may relate enough to you that you can have your own unique experience. So with that in mind, letting go, releasing, renewing, it can mean whatever it's supposed to mean in your story. Audible breath in. Open, open. Hey, Sarah. Okay. Sarah, I don't know when you got here. Tonight's class is thematically on release and letting go. Actually, I wasn't planning on going with this song for this exercise, but I think... Oh, yeah, I think this is a good one. Okay. This is more of a guided type flow class than there I am. It's a little wonk. Sorry. So more of a guided flow class. But tonight for the first exercise, my first suggestion is vertical rolling. I'll put the music on. I kind of want to stay in the, keep the music going as much as possible. Actually, let's try this one. Audible breath in. Right now, I'm rolling the hoop around my arm. I'm not rolling it around my palm. In fact, I'm rolling it around my forearm so that I have kind of as minimal touch control as possible, but that minimal amount that I can manipulate the hoop with just my hand or whatever is helping me recruit my whole body towards the action. And so the letting go is not so much yet in letting go of the hoop, that's in loosening the grip, as we've been talking about already. And once I establish any kind of momentum, not even rhythmic momentum, just momentum with the hoop, I can allow my mind to just drift wherever it wants to go. It can focus on what it's doing, or it can fly 1,000 miles away. The understanding I have with me and my hoop practice is that once the momentum's going, that it goes anywhere it wants to. These mini tosses that I'm doing right now are kind of, they're more better, well, they're better executed for me when I think of myself as letting go of the hoop. Not throwing it, not heaving it, but letting go of it. Audible breath in. I'm using my whole body. One of the sort of juicy metaphors of the hoop that I just appreciate so much is that you keep doing it again and again. Like, it's not this one release. Like, this is a lesson for Baxter right now. But it's not just one release. It's like when I'm doing these tosses, Hooper Baxter totally understands that I'm releasing this thing again and again, and that my releases are kind of beyond just being functional. They're sort of dance in and of themselves, these releases. And what helps me to remind myself is that the flow life is teaching me how to handle my emotional life, that I have to keep releasing. That to release doesn't mean that I'll never release it again. Not failing to throw it so far away it doesn't come back. It's just what life is. It's just returning until it's gone. Audible breath in. What are you releasing? Is it muscular tension? Is it aggravation? Is it lethargy? Is it boredom? Sweet, Shane. I'm glad you understood what I was saying. Some great advice coming in, some great comments. If you're new, you might not realize it, but you're in a room full of people that appreciate the philosophical insights offered through Flow. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to switch over to my SoundCloud. And actually... Alright. Okay. So here's my suggestion for this. Most of these songs are new songs. I've hooped to them a little bit today when I hooped to them a little bit today when I found them, but I don't know them super well. I like hooping to them fresh with you guys on classes like this. That's so weird that Shelly that you were just about to say that, because what we're going to do for the next exercise is use that language of what doesn't serve me. What doesn't serve me. And it could be, I think this is a powerful audit to do with yourself all the time. And, my suggestion for this next exercise is go for the obvious ones first, not the should ones. Not the should ones first, but the sort of obvious ones. And we'll kind of go through a mental cleanse together on letting go of the things that don't serve us. And I'll post a link to this playlist. So the technique is any technique you want. Of course, this is a flow class. I was really digging this old school pass right here. It kind of helps me think sometimes. So as I'm doing this move, and I won't give myself permission to do whatever, but as I'm doing this move, I'm going to make this audit. I'm going to go through, and I'm sure I won't even think of the real problems, but I'm going to think of the things that no longer serve me. Even the icky things kind of can serve me. Even things I don't enjoy doing can serve me. So this is a little bit trickier discernment. Hey Rita, thanks for stopping in. Take a little trip. I recently had this moment with podcasts where I realized that I was listening to too many podcasts, that I had stopped listening to music. And while I'm doing work, like while I'm being creative, I had listened to podcasts like I was doing something. And I finally chilled out on them, and it's been like stopping drinking. Like it's that profound. Like I'm like, oh wow, my thoughts. Hey Tiff, thanks for stopping by. I love it when you guys stop by. All right. Okay. Thought we would do some core hooping. Of course, you can drift off of any of this stuff if you don't feel like it. Most of you are at a certain skill level with your core hooping that you can. It doesn't have to be crazy fast. So I'm hoping that that's what's happening here. You don't even have to core hoop if you don't want to. Last week I talked a little bit about this. Last Thursday, I guess. Right, last week. But in a way, when you're stalling, when you're turning with the current, you're kind of like letting go. You're sort of letting yourself, and of course in real HoopPath, in real terms, you're spinning the hoop, but it almost feels like you're letting go. What helps you find the stall is just to feel like you're trying to stay with your hoop. And so when I go into a stall, there is this, and maybe I'm being too metaphorical, but there is this kind of release into it, so you don't get ahead of it. If you like gooey hooping, if you like gooey stuff, and you like slowing down, one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is to raise your arms, because that will, in case you run out of momentum on the hoop, your raised arms turn into 3-point, and then you can hold the hoop forever. So I'm here, like let's say I want to do a dayside stall, so the hoop's here. If I raise my arms up, then if it starts to fall, I can put it right back into a nice plane, or I can fold out of it, or whatever. It's the same thing if I'm doing a nightside stall too. I'm here, if I raise my arms up, I'm kind of holding the hoop there. Those are super fun and not that hard once you get your stalls, but you can do 3-point reverses. They're super sort of graceful. I like them. They're kind of like a gooey technique, but I'll show you one. What I like about them is there's almost like no collision. Like you can just kind of All right, I'm admittedly getting way too caught up in metaphor, but we can use this kind of letting go release idea in a paddle type way, which is what I was just doing. If you haven't tried it, you should. It's fun, or you could. But I'm here, and I create a stall. We've done these before, but with the hoop in both hands, so I'm stalling it on my hands, and then the letting go part, the release is pushing it back on. Going into that reverse, and we doing a stall. Uh-oh, my second current. Okay, there we go. So my second current's not so good in this. Okay. Second current stall is not very good. It's a long song. Okay. Yeah, it's funny how you just if you neglect something for a while, you forget. When I first started hooping, I was so inspired to be just as good at first current as second current. So it made learning a move or learning a body flow kind of easier, because it's okay, now go get it in the other current. But my second current stalls right now are lacking. All right. Honestly, I think I've changed my mind. I think this song will still work for it, but I'm really digging this idea of lifts and paddles back onto the body, so I think it might be cool for us to play around with that. It's a flow class, so of course I can't see you anyway, so I don't know what you're doing or not doing. I don't know if anyone's still here. But that's what I'll show you some lifts. I'll be lifts and then paddling back on, and this is one of those examples of a flow constriction where you give yourself a what feels at first like a box, but is instead just just knowing where the field is. It's a good way to set up these parameters that don't actually limit you, but sort of force you to expand. All right. So this stuff does tie in. This is a paddle stall. This is when I push into the hoop and I just start stalling with it. This is a paddle stall. And then when it's time to put it back on the body, I just give it a little push. It's so funny because lifts and drop-ins are so... Oh, I'm in the wrong camera. Lifts and drop-ins are so old school, but they are so fun. I don't know if enough people realize how fun they can be. Of course, the better your core skills, the more fun lifts and drop-ins are, so it's kind of like an added bonus. Oh, Serena! Hey, Serena, how are you? Welcome. I'm glad we're on Facebook still. Sweet, nice, Sarah. Take video, Sarah. If you guys ever, I know most of us don't really post videos online. I don't either. But if you do and you tag me in it, I would love to see it. All right, there we go. This song. Okay, so I am kind of feeling some core hoop love, so I am going to do shoulder hoop to this next song, but of course you can go any way you want to, and I've got a few more things I want to say about release and letting go. Don't worry, it's not, I know what's happening. Oh, shucks. It's not gonna work. Okay. Alright, it's not gonna work. Never mind. Alright, I'll just post the playlist. I can't seem to get it to post here. No, this might not seem obvious, but I have been teaching hooping forever. And I honestly think that what holds a lot of people back when they're like learning shoulders or they're learning their shoulder flow is not letting go. Because in the beginning, you really need to freak the F out to get more energy, and then grace is you sort of like finding that control, that application of strength. But in the beginning, you need to accumulate the strength, right? And that's freaking out. So this is so crazy out there, but I am right-handed. I hoop to the left as my first current. So when I'm hooping to the right, that's my second current. And I still do this sometimes, but what really helped me find it sometimes was trying to see out of my left eye. I don't know if this is making sense, but you know, if you don't know this about yourself, your eyes favor each other, like, or favors one. There's one eye that you mainly see out of, and the other one just sort of reinforces that. And so I would try to see out of the other eye, totally hippie, just sort of looking and focusing out of my left eye, and sometimes that helped me with second current. Nice, Shelly. So right now, my hoop is traveling to the right. It's going clockwise, if you know what that means. And my left, I'm looking out of my left eye. I'm thinking about my left shoulder. And it's helping me flatten out the hoop. I'm in second current for me. I'm just keeping my right eye closed just to see. I know it looks weird. nice, Jennifer. Thank you you're always so great about contributing. All right. Okay, cool. We're doing okay right now. Oops. I do want to just let this play because I put this playlist together. Okay. All right, so we're starting to move towards the end of the class. Thank you guys for joining me. I know these first classes are going to be kind of flowy. Part of it is just me getting my energy back, and I will be bringing tech classes back and sort of those things, and more my Dan classes and stuff like that. But for just I'm easing back into it, and I really appreciate you guys joining me. All right, so I am actually going to, for me, I have the space to do this. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to totally go with the letting go theme for this last exercise, and then we'll play a free hoop after it. But I do have an ideal space for, I can do small tosses, but I can definitely do spins. My hoop does spin pretty well on this surface that I'm on. I'm on concrete. Boom. You'll be surprised at how well, circles can travel. So you'll definitely want to be spinning it back towards you. Boom. When you make these releases, if you haven't done these before and you want to get better at them, I did a class called wheelies, tosses, and things. Oh my, or something sort of cheesy like that. Boom, boom. But what I want to do right now, for me on this last exercise, I'm going to do tosses and wheelies together, kind of taking this letting go thing to the extreme. Oh, you guys are welcome. Thank you. All right, so I've got 2 more songs. We'll just free hoop to this. Thank you guys for joining me there. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm definitely teaching Thursday. If something happens with my mom, no class, obviously. Thank you, Dewey, Rose, Jenny. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, John. Thank you, Shayna. I'll put a link to the playlist in the comments. Okay, if anyone's still here, the link to the playlist just went up, so it's in the comments. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.